the market requires.
Yes, that is what we are going to go into today's session. So officially we are starting the session after 20 minutes, but yes, it's good that you have all worked on it, and I'll go into the details of today's session. So today's session, we are going to see about the reason behind lack of export inquiry. So in exports, it is must that if you are getting regular export inquiry, then your chances of getting the export order is high. Usually, it may not be the first export inquiry that becomes a order for you. It might even take 5-10 export inquiries, and then you might able to materialize a export inquiry. So what is export inquiry? Export inquiry is the language used by your buyer. Very simple term. So if you have to get a buyer, the buyer has to be seen as a if the buyer has to see you as a reliable supplier, then you have to speak the language of your buyer. I don't mean their native language. I don't mean you have to speak German language or Urdu or Arab. I don't mean that. I mean there are 9 partitions or 9 segments in a buyer's communication. So what are these 9 segments? That is how does an export inquiry look like? The 9 parts. The first one is when a buyer is asking for a product. This is the language of a genuine buyer. If you see all these in a buyer's inquiry, then 40% you can go forward with this inquiry. You can take it up and you can give the quotation. So what happens with the 60? I'll come to that after talking about these 9 parts. The first one is the specification of the product. That is, every single product will have different type of specification description. So yesterday we saw about the 6 different buyers type, right? Every buyer type will be very clear what specification of product they want. So usually if it is importer's agent, or if it is an importer, in importer's agent or importer who use the products for their own usage. So their product, if you see, that will be a common specification which is normally produced in large quantities. So that is a general specification. So how could you get this specification? Usually from the suppliers. I hope most of you are the merchant exporters here. So if when you are a merchant exporter, you should have at least 3 to 5 suppliers. And when you are speaking to the supplier, when you are getting the product, today I got a message from, I don't remember, Ankit, some name. Okay, so he asked, like the buyer is asking for a specification or technical details. So the technical details are nothing, a particular type, the product's description. See, if we even take rice, not all the rice are same. There are different varieties of rice. So the buyer will first ask for the description. That is the product's length, width, moisture when it is the productions like cereals, grains, they usually come with the moisture, a particular chemical content, color, size. So these are called as the specification of this product. How could you get it? You can go do Google, but the best way is to speak to your supplier. So the supplier will be able, if you ask specification of the product to your supplier, they may not know. But you can ask what is the variety of this product, what is the size, length, how well you can describe that product. That is the first thing a genuine buyer will ask. Second thing is the quantity. No genuine buyer will say any quantity. They will be very clear with the quantity. Whether it is 1 ton or 100 tons or whatever the quantity, they will be very clear because that is what they want to buy. We will not go to shopping and say randomly look for product, right? We will already predetermine the purchasing behavior is just the same even in the international market, but you have to know the language. So the quantity will be very, very clear. Third one is the packaging. Every product will have specific packaging according to their end use. See, if it is a retail or a supermarket, they usually ask for the retail packaging. So with the packaging itself, you will be able to understand what type of, yeah, very good. Mr. Praveen has put the details of a specification, how it looks like for a rice. So here you can see packaging is there. So the buyer clearly gives. So here 25 kg packages, transparent PP bags means this is going for a retail sales. So 650 tons, this person is importing as a whole, and they are supplying for the wholesalers in their market, which will then go for a retail packaging. Okay, so here they will be very clear with the packaging, how the packaging would be. Next is the, so we have done with the quantity, we have done with the specification, quantity, package. And the fourth one is the payment term. So in the payment term, the buyer, you should always ask what the payment term does. Just because someone is acquiring for the product, you should not leave the payment term as advance payment or the LC payment, because depending upon that also the rate could likely differ. Because in an advance payment, you don't have any bank obligations, right? You get the money, you do it. The extras is only your profit margin and the cost of the production of the product, the local transportation and the shipping. And the good news for you all, next week we will be having a costing and documentation session, which is free for you as a participants here. So there you will be able to calculate. So in advance payment, you don't have any extra obligations. Advance is not tough. That is what you have to, the first work is, see, these are the mind blocks. You have to first get rid of that. It is not tough. That is where we are taking this. Yeah, that is all usual in the terms, in the international terms. So when it happens with the LC, the cost of the instrument is high, because after doing the shipment, you have to go and present to the bank. So there will be an interest rate. So it is usually 7%. Depending upon the bank you are dealing with, it can go any person. But the usual people keep from 3 to 7%, depending upon the LCs and your how you are dealing with it. So that interest rate will be added to the cost. When it becomes DP, when it becomes even the DA/DP, then what is mean by LC? Okay, you should go into the EXIM A to Z course, and you have to go through it, which we have already given the access. So these answers for those questions will be in that. Okay, letter of credit, yes. So when it is DP and DA, there is a risk of cash flow. Your cash flow will be affected for 2 months or 3 months. So the interest should be added to the cost of your invoice value. So depending upon the invoice value, you will have the LC charges, and it could differ from bank to bank also. If it is usually the banks prefer to use, if your product is unique, yes, you can get, yes, absolutely. So that is the main thing. So who places the exports enquiry? The export enquiries are usually placed by the people who is the importer on record. What I mean by importer on record, the product could be used by someone, or it could land in different country also, but the person who is taking that accountability of getting the product, they are the one who places the export or enquiry. And how the suppliers are chosen? The suppliers who speak this language, who has the clear answer for this. So the first one is the specification of the product, second one is the quality, third one is the, second one is the quantity, third one is the package, fourth one is the payment term, fifth one, target price. When it is dealt in the certain commodities, the buyer will also give the target price. If it is not customized, if it is usually regularly sold, that will be target price also. And the sixth one will be the port of unloading. So the buyer will not say any port in this country. They will be very clear which port they want the delivery to. And the seventh one, the timeline of execution. So usually they will say when they are more likely to materialize this order, when they are placing the enquiry. So you should be clear with that. And the quality or certification required. That is the eighth one. the quality or the certification required for a particular product. Okay, the ninth one is that the port of loading will also be sometimes mentioned. If it is on FOB terms, or if the buyer has their own agents in that market, they will usually say this port, please send it to this port, when they are usually collecting the materials as a whole from the country. So a genuine buyer usually gives you idea of all these in their communication. Okay, so if it when based on this, you can decide 40% whether that buyer is a genuine buyer or not. But the real problem comes when it is a payment term. That is where the real challenges comes, right? Because you have to be sure whether the buyer will pay you the money or not. So that is when you have to get, okay, 8th and 9th. 8th is the port of unloading. They will say which port they wanted the product to be get delivered, and also they will say the timeline when they want the product to be delivered, or the quality of the product, what certification is needed, and also sometimes they will say which port of loading in the buying country. Okay, can anyone list? So far you have been hearing, right? So everyone are asking what is the 7th, what is the 6th. Can anyone list?
7th you said port of unloading. Again,
can I tell you the whole
6th
thing?
you said port
Yes,
of unloading.
please put it in the chat box. Please put it in the
Okay.
chat. Yeah, Mr. Raghav is fast. Yes. Yes. Yeah. So there are a mixture of answers coming in. Yes, well done, Mr. Raghav. Yes, you have got it all. So please check in the chat box. So you have to be clear when you are executing an order. It is not just the price. It is not just where you can find the buyer. So here today's task is that I will get into today's task and then I'll go to the next thing. So today's task, I've said what are the parts of an export inquiry. So there are so many B2B portals. I'm not asking you to become member of any B2B portals right now. What I'm asking you to do is you go see these B2B portals. You will be able to pick and match these details in those inquiries. Usually there is one portal called Go for World Business. I'm not asking you to become a member there. What I'm saying is that portal usually collects the details from the customs data. So there you will be able to see all these details for your particular product. So if you are missing port of loading, that's fine. But port of unloading is very much important, because a genuine buyer will never ever say to America or to UAE. Even there, they will be very specific which port. In case if they have not mentioned, you have to ask. So you have to speak these languages. So that is how the supplier is actually chosen. They know the quality and they know these are the details to be mentioned. So well done. Many of you have taken the notes, well done, and you have put it in the chat as well. So let's go to the next one. This is very much important. So this is
B2B portal.
Sorry?
What is the name of the B2B portal?
I said go for worldbusiness.com, where they will give, if you see, yeah, go for world business. If you see, because those, you might think that is a actual inquiry that is floating in that, but the backdrop is they collect these details from the customs data, and some portals they gather the data from different inquiry portals or some from exhibitions. So that is how they take it and they put it in the, how can we get the quality certification of fabrics and saris? Not necessary, because not these 9 have to be in a buyer's communication. Some product may not need quality or certification. They might just ask you for 5. The main important is that quantity, specification of a product, packaging, payment term, target price. Because in saris they will definitely say target price, because you have variety of saris, and usually these saris goes for Asian diaspora or Indian diaspora. So you will definitely have a rate. So you ask straight away, you ask what is the target price. So this is very important. You have to understand in the exports and imports. That is, every business will go through this curve. There will be a startup stage. Startup stage means this is the upcoming trend in the international market, like organic certification, Moringa. These products need so much of marketing efforts. So you have to really spend quite a lot in marketing. Okay, in the growth rabbit thing, these are the product which is getting regularly from India or the country, but the quantity will be possible for even a new entrant to handle these exports. It is usually one container or 2 container or less than that. The maturity product are the products which India is a monopoly, like rice, turmeric, certain product. India is the monopoly where it has reached the saturation. Even the turmeric powder, we see our market, we share a market more than 50%, that's 64% we share the whole world's market share. So here, that is where it starts declining. If we would have seen the data of 2 years before, even more turmeric powder was getting exported from India, but it gets declining because that is when more of certifications or quality issues will come into the road. So as a if you are a startup, if you are not a manufacturer, it is always better to choose a product which is in the rapid growth, and it will be easier for you to get connected with buyers also. Most of the cases, these buyers are the ones who exist in online. So if we are going for the products which India is well known for exports, those buyers won't be existing in the online, because they will have well established network of suppliers within India. So you should have good connections with the market which is supplying these products. Only then you will be able to crack the orders in the international market. At least you can safeguard yourself. Yes, green signal is to move. Yes. Okay. I'll just quickly go through another thing. Following shipping documents consist of two. See, this is a sign of a genuine buyer. Yes, Anurag. Anurag was the one who messaged me today. Congratulations, Anurag, for your first success. You have been talking with the buyer. So yes, see, the buyer gives a clear details, what kind of documents they need for the international market. Okay. So when you are talking with the buyer, you have to know all these details with particular to your product. When you know these details, that is when you become an export ready. That is when you start becoming an attractive prospect for your buyer. So today's task is that you go to Alibaba, go for world business. Alibaba, you cannot see the inquiry, but go see the products. You can see Chinese, they will mention all these. The payment term will be there. Sometimes target price also will be there. What is the size of one container? You mean the whole dimension? Vishwanathan sir, please, the question is for you. He'll be able to answer this question. So the task for, 20 feet, 40 feet, yes. So you can go into these portals, Alibaba, and go for world business. So look for these kind of enquiries, how these enquiries are. So this is the next step. So looking at the enquiries, you will be also able to figure out what type of buyers they are, whether they are bulk buyers or they are buying for their own use, whether they are retail buyers, whether they are asking for mixed cargo, that you will be able to see. The global opportunities. Yeah, yes. So the global opportunity is a very wonderful. I don't think anyone using this global opportunity magazine. I have a good news. I'm particularly sharing with the good news to this group. this global opportunity is a initiative from Indian government. That is a beautiful, beautiful initiative by Indian government. That is Federation of Indian Export Organization. This accumulates. They have partnered with European Enterprise Network, where you will have the list of inquiries from 62 countries, 652 small organizations supporting SMEs. I am able to crack orders through this. It is free of cost. This is free of cost. And today, my client was able to get export order from Germany through this, straight away. This couldn't happen before because the exhibitions were happening. You know, the most interesting part I liked in the buyer-seller conversation today, we arranged for the meeting. My client said I usually travel to Germany, so this year I was in the exhibition, and the buyer said, "Oh yes, yeah, even I was there. I was in hall number 5, but they have never met." Okay, you have to know how to use the resources that is already available. I'll quickly share the screen and take you little tour, and you are the luckiest batch where I'm doing this live tour of this. Meanwhile, you can post. I didn't plan for this tour, so I'm going to quickly open the website and help you to take it there. So there are huge opportunities. It's just any idea about exporters in of India. So personally, I never had a good experience, or neither my clients, and I don't usually recommend B2B portals because the chances are some could get success also, but it needs regular follow-up with whatever leads you are coming up. Because we are after these B2B portals because we think the enquiries which we see there, when we send emails, we'll get the replies. But it is not like that. It requires regular follow-up, which if you do the method which I tell you, you'll be able to see this client 2 months. Right now they are doing for three markets. And one particular thing which I used is can everyone see my screen, fio.org? We have to stop sharing and share the screen again. I'm a huge fan of this portal, and you could see many of you asking for fabrics, textiles, right? These are the small, medium enterprises existing in different countries. Yeah. So if you see the publications, if you see the publications or press under fio.org, and if you click on global business opportunities, you can see the links. And if you click on July 2020, so that is you can open up in PDF. So you can go through. You should familiarize yourself with the language. That is where, because this is my 3rd time I've got the success. I've tried 2 times before, but I was not able to crack because I spent some time and familiarizing myself with the language that is used there. Because business offer, business request, technology offer, you should be able to understand. So see, this is 625 business support organizations from 62 countries. You should be able to know how to connect with these people. That is what the key is. So here you come across all these requests from, mostly you will see all these requests from European market because it is an enterprise European network. There will be few from other markets also, but this is good if you are looking for any connects in EU. Okay. So see, you can see they are asking for the it's a looking for commercial agency agreement. So here they are giving a business. So you can read through it. MES will ask RCMC, yes. You need RCMC to get the incentives. That is the main purpose. I'm already member of FIO. Now I would like to do agro products like onion export. Is there further need to take? No, you don't have to. Unless you have to get some incentives that especially with, yes, you can use that RCMC. If you are only planning to take some incentives with particular to APEDA, the RCMC is showing you that you have registered with the Indian support organization which supports the Indian trade, and so that they are giving you incentive. Very simple as that. Some product or commodity based promotion groups, they entertain only their own membership. So Spice Board, Coconut Board, Coir Board, they are much particular about their membership. Yes, you don't need it. RCMC is general for any exports. That is what I'm saying. You are a merchant exporter and you are planning to do onion export. You can still get the, for MEIS benefits, that single RCMC is fine. But if you are a processing unit and you want to participate in any particular exhibition, that also it was pre-COVID period. So right now, people are already struggling with so many things. So you don't have to really worry about RCMC at this stage. Our main focus is getting export order, and MEIS, you can get it. Tell us about duty drawback. Okay, so many logistics questions are there. For updates about Agri, APEDA is required. No. Sir, if you are only focusing on MEIS, RCMC is fine. If you are looking for TMA, you can still speak to them and see. And even if you are planning to go for APEDA, it is only 5,000 rupees for 5 years. So I would tell you, you focus on getting the export opportunity first, and then you can think about it. For duty drawback, it is just automatic. When you are dealing with a good CHA, it is an automatic process. They will apply for duty drawback as well. You don't need any certifications or any registration for duty drawback. So here you see, you will be able to see how these are the enquiries with respect to the European market. So here they have given a link, right? So you have to click on that link. This will land up in a page like this. You have to register. This is free to register. All the service is free. Okay. So here, see here the details. This is a genuine buyer. Look at his language. So they are seeks for manufacture of wooden brush handles and source for raw materials. I've randomly opened this, but you can see they will give you the details, what type of buyers they are, what type of suppliers they are looking for. What type of suppliers they are looking for. Here they are looking for manufacturing agreement, so that this is suitable for someone who is in the manufacturing sector and who is manufacturing wooden brushes. So if any one of you are manufacturing wooden, sometimes they even mention trader is fine, merchant is fine. So you can register with this website and you can go into see this. If you want to know more, yes. If you request more details, you will be able to get more details about this. And Federation of Indian Export Organization is facilitating this service. Yes, anyone?
Which website is that? Global Opportunities.
Global Business Opportunities. So today's task is to understand how the export inquiry is floating for your particular product, for which you can, I've given you example of 3. There are more than 20, 25 B2B portals like this. Even if you put it in Google, you will be definitely landing up in one. Trade India is there, India Mart is there. There are so many, Connect to India, there's so many websites available. Just go and check how these export inquiries are floating, so that you familiarize yourself with the buyer's language. So that is what the most important to build up your position in international market. So when you are coming across a buyer, you should not be blank with inquiries. You should be able to ask questions and answer any questions the buyer asks. So we have completed the session. Any questions? Tomorrow I'll go about 2 key things, which will help you to create a strong position for you so that you will start attracting the importers. Yes, sir, please ask. Mr. Raghav? Okay, what all components have to be there in an inquiry mail from our side? So mail is better to use only you are sure that the export order is going to be through. Till then, I would suggest you to get connected to them through social media, because that's more easier. That's most of the people don't even look into emails. So unless and otherwise you get much familiarized with the buyer, then you ask, so what are the 12 steps of RSM? So please, Monica, visit the yesterday's recording. Previously, IceGate provided data downloading for export, and we can download easily notice. So data, as far as customs data is concerned, I don't deal with it. So there are so many people doing selling the customs data, but I don't deal with one. The reason you are all asking for customs data, buyer's details, because you want to approach them. But the purpose of reverse sourcing method is the buyer should approach you. So still you have to start, you have not started thinking like an importer. So that is the reason you are again and again asking all this. So I would highly suggest go through the yesterday's session, start thinking like an importer. You will start seeing importer everywhere. It is easy to identify the importer. So tomorrow we'll see about 2 things, how to create the strong position for yourself that the buyer will approach. Which social media platform is good for finding and communicating buyers. So what, again, that I'll get into the details in next 2 classes. So if you have any inquiries, any questions, any details with respect to what we have seen today, please ask.
Ma'am, how do we know the genuinity of the inquiries? By seeing all the 9 points which you have given, that is sufficient enough?
Yes, ma'am. So usually, as yesterday I mentioned, again, the genuineness of the buyer is under question only with respect to the payment term. So when the payment term is advanced, when the payment term you have confirmed LC, you don't usually doubt the credibility of the buyer. It is when the credit payment comes into the role, that is when you have to be sure that you get the payment. So you have, yesterday I said, you have to get the purchase order, go to ECGC and get ensured. So hope HH code 33 can be looked into today's post-session analysis. So I don't really understand. You want me to show the analysis or you want to check? Please connect with me through WhatsApp. Hi ma'am, I'm just a starter in export business. Do I need to have a website for my company to approach clients, or can I access clients from my personal mail? Okay, could you advise please? See, mail is a secondary tool of communication in international market. Honestly speaking, none of the buyers they really straight away reply to you through email. That doesn't happen. Only if after you start having a personal connect or touch or relationship with the buyer, that is when they started replying back to you. At that stage, it doesn't matter even if you are having a your personal email address or official email address. How to convince a buyer for an advance payment?
What
Okay,
happens
Monica.
if should the FIFO page?
Sorry. Okay. So how to convince a buyer for advance payment? Monica, have you selected the product? Because many of the questions I see here is you have not really, Which product? So for ECGC, they have their own database, they have a process, they have a fee. They will do it for you. for the FIO page, how to know spec of the product expected by the buyer. So you go to fio.org, go to publications/press, and then you go for global opportunities, and you can check the details. So definitely you'll receive the recording of this session in the WhatsApp group. Please go through the session. Okay, rice, basmati, non-basmati. Again, in non-basmati, you have to be very specific. You remember yesterday I said specific is terrific. So you have to be very particular which type of non-basmati. Have to get into that specifications, be specified, because non-basmati also, you have ponni rice, you have idli rice, you have sona masuri. The varieties are countless. So you have to be very clear. Yes. So you get those details also.
Ma'am, I wanted to know,
Yes.
the main question for us was how to get export inquiries, right? So how to get export inquiries goes with, like, you know, we are going to go with the portals now, what you're saying, right?
No. You have to see how the export enquiries are through these portals. Tomorrow
Okay.
and day after tomorrow, I'll tell you how to start receiving the export enquiries.
Okay, understood.
Let's
We have
take,
to just go through it, that means.
Yes, the task is just familiarize yourself with how the export enquiries are floating in the international market.
Okay, got it.
Hello, Lakshmi.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. I was just referring the HS code with 33 essential oils. Probably I can do this analysis after the post session. No, you know, you're not refer that particular product line, and it's again e-commerce. So I'm just confused whether I can carry out the activity or not.
Okay, so yes, there is another portal as well, which is called as cbi.eu. Because when we talk about essential oil, the huge quantity goes to developed markets again.
Okay.
Because you asked about essential oil, you go into this website, sir, and you put as essential oil. It gives you complete detail of how this product is being imported into European market. Straight away, yes, that's all.
What's the portal that you referred?
cbi.eu. I've put it in the chat.
Okay, right. Thank you.
Okay, if there isn't any more queries. So today what we are seeing is the language of the importers. Yesterday we have seen the type of importers. Tomorrow we will see how you can create a position for yourself in international market. That is how to start attracting the importers to place an inquiry with you. And the plan the day after. And on the 5th day, we'll see how we can continue with this progress.
Ma'am, what is this CBIEC is used for?
That is a center of, it is an organization by European Union where they promote the imports from developing countries to developed countries.
Okay, and what was the name actually, ma'am?
Center of Import Promotion, I think.
Okay, CB.
If you put any product, import of coconut oil into Europe, that will be the first website that will come.
Website that will be open up. Okay.
Yes. Margins are lesser in general auto products. How about value addition? Value addition always attracts good margins, but don't go for the value addition that usually happens. So go for something that you can do. You have connections with, you have the ability to do. So again, be specific. When you are saying agro product, which agro product, what kind of value addition you are talking about.
Okay.
And the end use, it's always about the end use, where it is used.
Ma'am, is there any separate portal or any separate, B2B portal for electrical goods or something like that?
No, ma'am. For electrical goods, it's usually, even our own Export Promotion Council websites give so much of data and details.
That is, what is that, ma'am?
Export Promotion Council, see, every product in India will have an Export Promotion Council. So if you go into it and familiarize yourself with the details there, then you can build up on that, because it usually goes into one link to another link, one details to another link.
Yeah, I think so. Correct.
So, no, both. Go global business opportunity. Usually, you'll get details for both. Sometimes they mention like traders, they are looking for merchant exporters, traders, wholesalers. It just differs from inquiry to inquiry. So you go through, there will be editions of every month. So you please go through it. You will be able to get the details. So yes, that's let's meet tomorrow. Please, is it compulsory to get EPC? How do they help us?
Roll number 10
No,
idara.
it is not compulsory to get EPC.
Roll number 10 idara.
Okay, it is needed only if we are getting a benefit from the government. So you can even get it after your order is confirmed. You can apply for the Export Promotion Council. So thank you so much for your time for today's session. We'll meet tomorrow. Please start thinking like an importer than an exporter. That is how you will create a strong position for yourself, and you'll be able to start seeing the importers around. Thank you so
Thanks
much.
so much, ma'am. Thank you very much.